I don't think I've been as excited to pour a taste as I am for this one, just because I think it's pretty mind blowing. But I know you haven't even smelled it.
I'm equally excited because I haven't tried it yet. Yeah. So I'm like a kid in a candy store right now, and we've already had some very positive feedback about this.
And what sucks is basically after everything we poured out, this is all we have.
That's all we had left.
So our tastings have to come off of this amount. That's why your tasting cards only have smells. There's
a big sacrifice from us this month to not have enough for.
Well, it's becoming more and more.
True
listen, look, it's the beauty of what we're doing. We're growing, and as we grow and have more members, we're stretching hard to find liquor further and further.
So thank you.
Yeah,
for signing up, and it's a good problem to have.
And as that happens, there's less and less left over for us. So as opposed to having to go like and buy an additional and like a whole nother bottle just for us, we're just kind of going off of a small amount to be able to share with you. But when I first bottled everything to send out, I gave this the smell, and I just let my mouth, like I took a small sip just to kind of get an idea of what it was. Not enough to profile it, but really enough to just kind of like get an idea. And one of my favorite animated movies is Ratatouille. There's a scene where like when he tastes things for the first time,
we just watched that,
and his brain goes off and things are exploding, and it's kind of like one of those moments because it's really really good. But the smells were incredible, and just the bouquet and the nose on it is, I think top notch. So let's get into it. Barrell. Normally we kind of adorn the barrel with things that are like it.
I mean, there's 5 bottles up there.
I have more barrels, and they're not related to this one, so so there's no point. But so Barrell is a company they're a company of blenders, right? So the blending series that they do is really about turning blending into a science beyond an uber limited one run. We made this blend and it's gone, it's done, never to be had again. If you remember and you've been a member for a while, you've had Stellum. Stellum is a off-brand of Barrell that is more about creating a process of daisy chaining, which allows them to continue to make the same bourbon over and over again. But the whole spirit behind the Barrell brand is that it's we made this, it's gone, you really can't get it again.
But which makes it super fun.
Yeah,
like the fact that they're producing different bottles, and of course they're mixing all kinds of different years together and blending all kinds of different years. But it's just it kind of reminds me of as a kid, getting baseball cards or different things, like different years, you're getting different cards, you're buying different things, and Barrell's like that. It's not your traditional, juice that you would get that's always available. This is something that's unique to, what they're doing at that point in time. Once those barrels are done, they're done.
And it's overwhelming because if you even go to like your Total Wine and you go down, you'll see 6, 7 different. And they're the same label, same thing, different colors, and you have to really get into the descriptors of telling you what's in it. So for people who aren't as invested in like going through, you might not take the time to go through and understand what's in that bottle. But I'm telling you, it's worth the time. It's worth the time to kind of start to explore it for the price. And so what is the price? For the most part, you're not going to get a Barrell anymore for less than $90. $90 to $110, $120.
Well, it's up to. I mean, there's quite a few barrels now that I'm seeing in 200.
Go across to your glass case.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to have 4 or 5 different bottles that are the silver label, which are like all these 16-year versions of some really crazy blends.
But like juice, you won't get anywhere else.
Well, they have right now. Our Total Wine right now has like Dovetail. So Dovetail is a crazy blended whiskey that's then turned around and put into rum barrels but then they've taken that and then aged it 16 years.
It's an experimental kind of brand
Yeah.
that is super unique. And even though people have been blending for a long period of time, the way that Barrell blends and the amount of offerings that they have and the access to old barrels and, you know, just stuff that's been aged for a long period of time and the way they do it, it's pretty incredible.
So they're usually buying from like 3 places. They're buying some Kentucky bourbon, they're buying some Tennessee whiskey, and they're buying some Indiana distilled whiskey,
Sure.
MGP. So, and they are blending those at a variety of years, and every single barrel bottle that you're looking at is going to break it down. And you'll see on your tasting label, it really breaks down where they're from, but not the individual, which was from where, right? So in this one in particular, and you'll have to forgive me again because the lighting in here is terrible, 40% 5-year, 30% 7-year, 15% 10-year, and 15% 17-year.
You have a 17-year
Yeah.
whiskey in this bottle.
Well, and 30% of it's 10 years or older, right?
Yeah.
It is...
What's the proof on that?
This guy is 117.2.
So what's interesting about that is, at least in what I've noticed over the years, is a lot of aged whiskeys, the alcohol by volume is a little bit less.
Well, it loses some of the alcohol.
So it loses some of the alcohol. So the fact that you're getting, you know, 100 plus,
well, you're getting
the 17-year blended in.
You're getting the proofing from the lower ages.
Yeah, which is what adds kind of, I think, a nice balance.
But barrel, for the most part, most of these guys are barrel proof. So barrels are big.
Yeah.
Like, they are not subtle.
And those of you that have been members for a while, we did a 1792 release a while ago, and we talked a little bit about us doing a blending process. With different 1792 variations. So I'm kind of a fan of it because I know for a simple fact that the ones that we blended when we had those 1792s, we didn't like them like individually, but when we started mixing them and blending them, it was like, oh my gosh, this is...
Your own Infinity bottle is a blend.
In the Infinity bottle, exactly.
Yeah, so
I just want to highlight that.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I like, again, that's why you're here, man. You're sharing your experience of like your connection to this is remembering us doing that. That's awesome. This one, so I have a few, so this is a private release. So Total Wine & More is big on doing private releases with Barrell. I will tell you, it's a great source for getting very unique whiskey for a, I think, reasonable price.
I do too.
And this guy, so I've got one up there that's called like, I think Pancake Breakfast. There is another one that is Cherry Cola.
Yeah.
Cherry Cola.
Cherry Cola for 2.
Cherry Cola for 2. We had on my birthday last year. This time last year. And it is insane.
And he wasn't feeling well that day, and still, like, you know, sometimes your palate changes when you're not feeling well.
Yeah.
But that was a incredible
great pork
taste. That was a good pork.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. I think that was 2 years ago because last year was a Woodford Reserve Distillers.
You're right.
Around the campfire.
2 years ago.
Yeah. But I'll say this guy, man. So this is called Cinnamon Roll Sunday.
I mean, you had me at cinnamon roll.
Yeah. And it is, I told you kind of the breakdown of what it is. So you got a balance of Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee, 5, 7, 10, and 17-year combos there. I'll just start by telling you this because we haven't truly tasted it. But the nose right off the bat, it's huge. It's huge. Like, it is like very, very full flavored, full bodied, both in the nose, the flavor, and the finish, but not in a bad way. Like, it's just so well balanced. I go chopped wood, and this is where I was talking about, because sometimes in older stuff, it can be overly oaked. So wet oak, seasoned oak. We talked about the difference on the last video we just had. This is like fresh. It's a green chopped wood. It's not overly, it doesn't taste burnt. It doesn't taste too toasted. It just tastes fresh. With this much age in it is crazy, in my opinion. Then it's got candy apple and like Rainier cherry. Like I said just cherry, but like this acidic, bold, sweet, red fruit kind of finish.
I mean, pour that
It's
I'm ready for it.
Pretty bananas.
I feel like I'm being teased here.
Now listen, this is one, guys, again from the proofing. May benefit from a piece of ice from you. It might really change the way the finish is. We're not going to add one for this tasting. We might add one, not finish, and add one at the end just to get it, because again, we've only got maybe half an ounce to an ounce.
And thank you for
kind of,
doing a little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wow.
And just because we've also had other things, just smell the bottle after we've. Yeah, it's
okay. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
Like that, I'd have that smell in my car. I mean, I might get a DUI, but ooh,
yeah,
boy,
it's got the alcohol content that where it's like it's potent, but not in a bad way.
Super sweet, like delicious.
You got some sweetness.
I'd love to have a candle.
Yeah,
smell like that.
So listen, we again not a true sample. We're gonna probably be all over the place with some of the flavors on this. But this, you've seen it before where we've tasted on the fly. But this has got way more going on than some stuff that we've done before. So we'll see what happens here. So mine's already converting to tobacco, like in the glass already.
Well, our friend Gordon, who's a member, he texted us earlier and said flavor bomb, and I'm going to second that. So thank you, Gordon, for your insight.
Do you understand? Do you understand what I mean by chopped wood a little bit? When you have that versus, we had a pour earlier that we called spiced wood.
Yeah. The chopped, it's like a fresher kind of, like,
almost fruity,
like fruity. Yeah, I think like when you first chop wood, you know, you're getting just kind of the pure freshness of the wood that where it's been, you know, chopped in that very specific spot. Whereas a seasoned might be something that's already, you know, been around for a little while.
That is incredibly insightful.
Thank you,
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
I know. It is a difference, and it's hard to describe until you taste it, and hopefully you kind of get that where you're getting the oak, but it's not overwhelming. It feels brighter. I almost had a finish of like a really, really crisp red apple.
You know, the definition of flavor bomb is like there's so many different flavors and so many different things going on that it's hard to pinpoint. You know, like some of the bourbons that we pour and that we sample and that we share with you, you can get some very specific notes from it. This one is almost like
I got you. Red licorice.
Yeah. You nailed that. Yes.
There's like right in that middle flavor.
If only my red licorice that I buy at the movies was this good.
Yeah. There's a sweetness with a tang. Red licorice is like
red licorice is there. That's a great.
Great note.
That's a great description.
I'm really feeling that. There is, and now on my finish, you are getting a little oak. I mean, incredibly subtle, but there's not a huge finish to it. All the flavors there. Oh, what's happening in the glass?
That's why I keep smelling it, because it's it's incredible.
Well, again, higher proof. So always remember, higher proof, more alcohol. as it sits in the glass, more of that alcohol, and is going to evaporate.
What was the cost on this?
Right around $100.
Yeah.
Right around $100. I think it might have been.
So it's 117.2 proof.
Mm-hmm.
Around $100, give or take, you know.
But again, these are things that when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, so
well,
like,
I guess that's what I'm saying is if you see it, you can run out and get it. It's a good $120 or $100+ purchase.
So where I'm starting to get in what it's becoming in the glass and what I'm tasting on a finish is that buttery pastry. Look, I know they call it a cinnamon roll, but it's not from the sweetness of the cinnamon. It's from the savory butteriness of the actual roll.
Croissant kind of.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so from a finish standpoint, I'm going to go like a buttery pastry or a biscuit, you know, and there's a little bit of oak. I'm getting.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very light tobacco on the end, but not. There's the times that we say that smells like my grandpa smoking a pipe next to me.
Yep. This
is not it. This is like somebody maybe smoked a pipe 3 years ago in this leather chair, kind of like smell. So, guys, this is, I think, a pretty special pour. This is for me one that I would pour with some people after a very, you know, special meal or.
Well, and they're all poured at cask strength.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, I mean, there's actually the description on the back of this bottle. If you go out and get one, it's pretty kind of a cool way.
Yeah, barrels are almost always finished at cask strength.
Yeah.
Which is why they're always higher in alcohol proof. I've got some really #Jet happens nights that things went south because we were drinking Barrell.
Well, I like how the statement they make says we carefully blended each private release bourbon as a micro blend using one of our own empty bourbon barrels as a marrying cask.
Yep.
You know, each is
that's
unique.
in your tasting notes, by the way.
So that's in there, and it's a very unique way to describe this bourbon and the process.
It's turning more tobacco and vanilla in the glass.
Yeah.
But that the red licorice for me is that middle body instead of cherry. I've never called red licorice. I don't think.
Never.
But
I've never even thought of red licorice as a descriptor.
Yeah.
For any American whiskey.
Yeah, but I feel like it's there.
I do too. I think that's a great pull.
Yeah. So guys,
what a treat.
Yeah, it is a treat. I think it is an incredible pour. If you like a little bit of a higher ABV, full-bodied bourbon, you're going to love it.
Yeah.
I think if you are a fruit-forward, I like to have a little more of a red fruit kind of whatever bourbon person, and I don't like higher proof, you're still going to like it.
Yeah.
Do you have a little bit left?
Yeah.
Do not finish.
I'm not.
I think this with a little bit of a cube is going to be absolutely insane.
I'm going to wait on that. So we'll do it with a cube. But what I will say is good pull.
Yep.
Nice job picking that one out.
Yep.
And I hope everybody enjoys this as much as we have because this was a real treat. And I'm really happy that we were able to do it during Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It's
a Thanksgiving month, like November. Like this is the kind of pour we want to be able to offer. On these special months, and you know, again, it's Veterans Day, so I'm going to take one tiny little sip off of this to salute our veterans. Papa Dave, love you,
Papa Dave,
and everyone else who.
Grandpa, appreciate you.
Yeah.
No longer with us, but made a lot of sacrifices.
Yeah.
And this is I mentioned the others, and I think I maybe mentioned it before, but this was on my my grandfather's table side in the kitchen on the farm my entire life, and I got to get it. So he joined us for the wild turkey pour, but we decided to let him stick around to see how the barrel went. So we appreciate all of you very, very much.
And all of our family, you know, whether they're with us now or have passed away, and I know we both have family on both sides that have been, you know, that are veterans and served in the military during some, you know, very significant times in history. And we appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Guys, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy your loved ones. Mom and Dad, I know you're coming out for Thanksgiving here soon.
Looking forward to
have
seeing
that
you
very often, so I appreciate you guys. Hope you get to enjoy the same with yours. Pour them a nice glass of whiskey and try to remember through a glass your life. So
we'll try to source one more because
you want more?
I think I want to get more of this.
All right. Thanks, guys, and cheers. See you in December.